Very warm welcome to all of you. Today's topic of discussion is classification of bones. So what is skeleton? The bones and the cartilages which form the main supporting framework of the body is known as skeleton. And what is osteology? The morphological study of the skeletal system in accordance with the other systems of the body. So skeleton, it can be classified as exoskeleton, endoskeleton. Exoskeleton is the nails and enamel of the teeth, and endoskeleton is all the other bones of the body. The total number of bones in our body is 206. Next, we will shift to function of the skeleton. As you all know, it gives shape and support to the body. It provides surface for the attachment of muscles, tendons, etc. It will act as levers for muscle action. They will help to protect the vital organs of the body like the brain, spinal cord, etc. It helps to manufacture the blood cells. It stores body calcium and phosphorus. It helps in the transmission of body weight and also helps in the immune response of the body. Now, classification of bones. We can classify bones in the following way: according to position, according to shape, according to development, and according to structure. So first is according to position. So the bones can be classified into axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton consists of bones which occupy the axis of the body. So we have the skull bones, the vertebra, the ribs, and the sternum. The appendicular skeleton, on the other hand, it includes the bones which form the extremities, the upper and the lower extremities. In this picture, we can beautifully see the axial skeleton. On the right-hand side consists of the skull bones, the rib cage, the vertebral column, and on the left side, we can see the appendicular skeleton consisting of the upper limb and the lower limbs. So the axial skeleton consists of the bones forming the cranium, the face, the hyoid bone, the auditory ossicles, the vertebral column, the sternum, and the ribs. The appendicular skeleton, it consists of the pectoral girdle and the free bones of the upper limb, and the pelvic girdle and the free bones of the lower limb. The girdle bones, they help to connect the upper and the lower limbs to the axial skeleton. So we have the pectoral girdle or the shoulder girdle, which consists of the clavicle and the scapula. The pelvic girdle consists of the two hip bones. So let us now see the bones forming the upper and the lower limbs, or the upper extremity and the lower extremity. So in the upper extremity, we have the girdle bones, that is the clavicle, the scapula, and the upper extremity, it consists of the humerus, the radius, the ulna, the carpal bones, the metacarpal bones, and the phalanges. In the lower limb, we have the two hip bones forming the pelvic girdle. We have the femur, the patella, the tibia, the fibula, the tarsal bones, the metatarsal bones, and the phalanges. Now, according to shape, so classification of bones according to shape, we have long bones, short bones, flat bones, irregular bones, pneumatic bones, sesamoid bones, and the accessory bones. Let us discuss the following in very brief. Long bones are basically weight bearing, that is, they help in the transmission of body weight. Here, the length of the bone is more than the breadth. It consists of a shaft and it has two expanded ends on either side. These expanded ends, they are covered or capped by articular hyaline cartilage. The shaft, it consists of a tube of compact bone with a medullary cavity inside, and this medullary cavity, it contains the bone marrow. The shaft, it has three surfaces separated by three borders. Long bones ossify or are preformed in cartilage. The long bones can further be subclassified into three varieties. One is typical long bone, miniature long bone, and the modified long bones. Typical long bones like the femur and the humerus, they have one diaphysis or shaft and at least two epiphyses, one at each end. Miniature or the short long bones, they have one diaphysis, one epiphysis. Example is the metacarpals, metatarsals, and the phalanges. The clavicle is an example of a modified long bone. It is devoid of medullary cavity, it ossifies mostly in membrane, but it is said to be a long bone. Why? Because it helps in weight bearing. That is, it helps in the transmission of weight from the upper limb to the axial skeleton. Therefore, for similar reasons, the body of the vertebra is also a modified long bone. So here we can see the femur, the tibia, the fibula, the humerus, the radius, and ulna. Next, we have miniature or short long bones. Examples are metacarpals, metatarsals, and the phalanges. The carpal bones and the tarsal bones are examples of short bones. The short bones, they are cube-shaped. That is, they have 6 sides, of which 4 are articular and 2 are non-articular, and give attachments to the muscles, ligaments, etc. Short bones are identical in structure with the epiphysis of long bones. And all short bones, they ossify in cartilage after birth, except the talus, calcaneus, and the cuboid bones, which start ossification in the intrauterine life. The flat bones, they resemble shallow plates. It consists of 2 plates of compact bone with intervening spongy bone and marrow. They form the boundaries of body cavities and help to afford protection of the vital organs. Examples are bones of the vault of the skull, the ribs, scapula, etc. Next is irregular bones. The irregular bones, as the name signifies, are irregular in shape and they do not fit with the other classifications. Examples are the hip bones, the vertebra, etc. The pneumatic bones. The pneumatic bones are air-containing bones surrounding the nasal cavity and lined by mucous membrane. They act as air conditioning chambers and helps to alter the temperature and humidity of the inspired air. It helps to make the cranial bones lighter and adds resonance to the voice. Examples are the frontal bone, the ethmoid, the sphenoid, and the maxilla. Next is sesamoid bones. The word sesamoid is derived from the Arabic word sesam, meaning seed. So these bones, they develop as seed in the tendon of muscles due to friction of the tendon with the underlying bones during joint movement. So the function of the sesamoid bones, it helps to minimize friction. It alters the direction of muscle pull and also acts as a pulley for muscle contraction. What is the peculiarity of the sesamoid bones? They develop in the tendon of the muscles. They lack periosteum. There is absence of Haversian system, and these bones, they ossify after birth, usually from multiple centers. The largest sesamoid bone is the patella. It develops in the muscle, the quadriceps femoris. The other examples are pisiform in the flexor carpi ulnaris, 2 sesamoid bones beneath the head of the first metatarsal in the flexor hallucis brevis. The sesamoid bone fabula in the lateral head of the gastrocnemius, 1 in the cuboid bone in peroneus longus, the rider's bone in the tendinous origin of adductor longus, and 2 sesamoid bones on the palmar surface of the head of the first metacarpal in flexor pollicis brevis. Accessory bones. Accessory bones are usually uncommon. They appear with an extra center of ossification in a bone and fails to unite with the main bone. In X-ray, it usually is mistaken for a fracture, but difference is that in paired bones, these are usually bilateral and they have smooth surfaces and it is covered with compact bone. Examples are the sutural and the Wormian bones. Third type of classification of bones is according to development. So we have membrane bones, cartilaginous bones, and membranocartilaginous bones. The membrane bones are those which are developed by membranous ossification. Examples are bones of the vault of the skull, like the parietal bones. The cartilaginous bones are those which are developed by endochondral ossification. Examples are humerus and the femur, and membranocartilaginous is those bones which are developed by both membranous and endochondral ossification. Examples are the clavicle, mandible, etc. Next classification, the 4th type is according to structure. So macroscopic classification is compact bone, cancellous bone, and microscopic classification is lamellar bone and woven bone. So what is the difference between compact bone, cancellous bone? Compact bone is located in the shaft or diaphysis of a long bone. Cancellous bone, on the other hand, is located in the epiphysis of the long bone. In compact bone, the lamella are arranged to form Haversian system. In case of cancellous bone, Haversian system is absent. In case of compact bone, the bone marrow is yellow, which stores fat. After puberty, and in case of cancellous bone, the bone marrow, it is red bone marrow. In compact bone, it is hard and ivory-like. In case of cancellous bone, it is spongy in nature. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.